Why do I need to do a budget is what we're talking about today in the East Central Business Show. I'm John Naylor. I'm joined by Laura Sillano. Good morning.
Good morning.
Our resident expert, mortgage broker. How good's that?
Perfect.
Now, is this advice?
No.
That's your favourite thing. She loves not giving advice.
Never advice.
Yeah.
Look at the disclaimer at the end. Never advice.
No, anyway, do people need to do a budget?
Yes.
If
Please
you want
do a
mortgage?
budget.
Really?
Yes.
Why is it so important?
Okay. Because of the focus on living expenses, particularly at the moment, people you just need to do a budget. Please do a budget.
Okay.
It just helps us out so much when you actually do a budget. As part of what we do in the application process, we actually have to put in particular categories of expenses for your living expenses in the application. So it really helps us if you've already thought about that. Because if you can imagine us going through 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 months of transaction statements to try to work out your budget for you, that's really hard to do.
Yeah, right. It's a bit of a mission, yeah.
Yeah. And also the other thing is about doing your own budget. It's actually a really empowering thing to do for yourself because you control where your money goes. And sometimes we spend money unconsciously or without thinking about it on things that don't necessarily align with what our goals and dreams might be. So to look at your own spending, have a look at your own statements and start to categorise where your spending is going, that's a really powerful thing for you to do.
Yeah, well, there's lots happening in terms of marketing these days. There's so much, buy now, pay later type stuff. There's so much impulse buying, we're all victims at some level, maybe it's Uber Eats.
I think are you referencing something? Anyway, yes, we spend a lot on Uber Eats.
But anyway, no, but now let's get on with it though. When you say budget, you're saying what you need to actually rule out and say how you're going to spend your money and then commit yourself personally to spend on those lines? Or you're saying something that's retrospective, like, hey, this is what I did spend money on?
Well, when we're looking at an application for you, the only thing that we have to work off is what you did spend money on.
Okay, so the actuals.
The actuals.
So you can't come in and say, oh, look, I only spent $500 on Uber Eats, and then you're more interested in the truth of the matter.
We have to be.
$1,500.
We actually, we have to be because that's our responsibility. For sure. You don't know that. We have to do that. That's part of the legislation.
Okay.
So we actually have to do that. So,
actuals, yeah.
Yeah. So we need to be working and have a real conversation with you around what your living expenses actually are. And the historical evidence of that is going to be in your bank statements.
Okay.
And the lenders are likely more and more to want to see them.
Okay. But what do then people present with you? You want some totals, rent this much per month, actual spent this much on rent.
No, if you have referenced the statements to come up with the figure, we'll just cross-check it against the statements that you've provided.
Because we've got all that these days. We pay for everything with a card or just swipe the phone these days. So the numbers are there. And what you're asking people to do is go back and actually look at and come up with some totals,
and come up.
You don't want the transactions, you want totals that are real and verifiable.
What they've done. Yeah, that we can see through the transaction statements. And what that then allows you to do is you just then can look at it and go, do I want to spend this much on this category? If I'm spending $500 a month on Uber Eats, do I want to do that? Does that help me achieve my goal? Is it going to help me get into a home or not? And if it's not, then what do I need to do to change it?
2-minute noodles normally.
There is that. I remember when I was a student, I had a lot of French onion soup.
Oh, spaghetti really bolognese. Spaghetti bolognese. That's my staple.
But and living expenses change over time as well. Living expenses once you have kids becomes a different thing to living expenses when you're single and going out, and having a good time out. So it doesn't matter necessarily what they are, but it does matter that you know what they are.
Yeah, okay. It almost sounds like a bit of an opportunity where some sort of outsource or some sort of, you can supply people your bank statements and they'll just turn this into these beautiful numbers that you do. Otherwise it becomes your job, and you don't want that one.
Not necessarily, but a lot of banks already have software to create a budget with. Like I know that with a number of banks, they're already categorized. They are already categorising your expenditure.
Oh, right.
They're already doing it.
Yeah, hello banks. You know, how about something where we can drop into our online banking and say categorise.
You can.
What?
You can. You
I'm
already
not going
can.
to name my bank. I don't believe it's a feature of what I've got online.
Yeah.
But...
No, I know that you definitely.
And then that'll actually drop out of budget. Oh, come on, banks.
Yeah.
Starts with a W.
So if they're doing it already,
okay.
you probably want to do it too. Because they're already doing it. And when you go for funding, the more that they know about you, they know a lot about you already, but the more that you know what they know about you, the easier it will be for you to get funding.
Okay.
And be in control of your destiny.
Okay. So let's wrap this up on that. So anyway, so when you say budget, you actually mean actuals like an audit trail and some totals around categories which are published or available from your mortgage broker, so that you can actually come up with the right sort of categorization and how much they spent monthly for the past 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah, and what they think that they might spend ongoing. And there's also a lot of online tools that you can get access to. There's the MoneySmart website, which is a government website where they've got a budget formula that you can use, and they separate out all of the expenses for you as well, and you just literally put in the numbers. Okay. So you can do that too.
But it starts with an honest conversation with yourself.
Yes. And
second after that, you talk to your favourite mortgage broker.
Yes.
How do people get some more law Sillano?
You can call me on mobile 0422 320 497, or you can also email through to the office home@podfinancial.com.au.
Okay, some valuable information there around budgeting today at the eCentral Business Show. We'll speak to you next time.